Great. We can start now.
Okay. Hello, teacher. My name is Juli Marcela Suarez. I am 19 years old. I was born in San Andres of Sotavan, but I live in Tuchin, Córdoba. And in my free time, I like spend the time with my family and listen to music.
Okay,
Teacher?
Suli. Yeah, okay, Suli. So I'm Kelly Marixa Fajardo. I will be your tutor in this pedagogical experience one. So welcome to this course. Thanks for this interview. So let's
Okay.
start.
I start with the interview. Question 1. What teaching strategy would you recommend more to apply in a class?
Or there are lots of strategies that you can implement in your class, but you need to know them and select the most appropriate one. Okay.
Okay.
You For doing that, you need to know your students. You need to take into account the age of the students, the English level, their context, their interests, their needs. Okay. Um, you
Um,
can use different strategies and you can vary them. So if you start with an activity that implies movement, you can switch to an activity that implies a dialogue or a role play, and then something related to writing. Yeah. So you need
yeah.
to take into account the different learning styles and their interests.
Okay, this is great. Question 2. Is it good to be a bit permissive in the teaching role?
Well, it's good to be a bit permissive. What do you mean by being a bit permissive?
Permissive in which students are
Excuse me, I can't hear you.
um repeat the question. Question 2. It is good to be a bit permissive in the teaching role.
Yeah, but what do you mean? Being permissive can be being tolerant to the students' lacks of respect, or
Oh
what do
yeah.
you mean being permissive?
Um, Perdón, what
Could you give me an example?
teacher? You listen?
Yeah, Suli. Uh, could you give me an example of being permissive or an example of this kind of situation that you are exposing here?
She effective with the students?
Being effective?
Uh, Yes.
Well, totally, we have to be effective with them. We have to take care of them. We have to uh, treat them respectfully, uh, kindly, yeah, because sometimes they don't have that kind of love at their homes. Sometimes they don't have lovely families. Sometimes their environment is hard for them. So in that cases, school and as well becomes the teacher becomes like the family, their family. So we can be, yeah, we can be effective with them. But I think you are talking about what kind of rules we need to use with them. Yeah. In that case, they have to know that there are limits, that they can do whatever they want in the classroom because their actions um, will affect their partners, will affect the teacher, and will affect themselves. So
Okay.
they need to know what are the consequences of their behavior.
Okay, teacher. Question 3. What is the most important thing to remember the teaching role?
The most important thing that you need to know, to love what you do as a teacher. If you doesn't love being a teacher, you can't be a good teacher. So if you love what you do, you are going to take into account the theories, you are going to take into account the students' feelings, the students' progress, and you are going to have a good performance in your class. So that's the most important thing. Love what you do.
Okay. Okay, teacher. Question 4. What practical advice do you recommend to maintain order in the classroom?
Mm. Students need to uh, they need to be active all the time. Um, for example, when they are overcrowded groups, so groups with more than 30 students or 40 students, so they have to work in teams and they need to be always involved in the class. So how can we do that? We need to do the lesson planning. So we need to think before the class. We need to think about what are they going to do in the class. If this team is reading a test, what is the second team be doing? Yeah, what is the second team are working on? For example, I don't know, writing the questions, and the 13 they are going to do the posters, yeah, and at the end of the class they can socialize the activity. So they need to be involved in the class all the time. If sometimes when we don't prepare the lesson planning, uh, you have some time that, hey, the students they are doing nothing, and you if they are doing nothing, they are going to start speaking, they are going to start crying, they are going to start running around the classroom. So they need to do something.
Oh,
Okay.
sure, teacher. Okay. 5 question. What could be a good method to capture the attention of students?
Um, as I said before, you need to know your students. If they are kids, you need to identify what are their likes. Yeah,
Mhm.
maybe a TV program that they like, so they love so much, and you can use it in order to catch their attention. You can use it in order to make a poster and help them to remember a sentence that they have to learn, or using a short video where the main characters of that programs appear, and that's uh, that will capture their attention. Yeah, knowing the students' interests and using it as in the material that you use in your classes.
Oh, okay, teacher. Thanks for interview.
Okay. In the last question, I almost forget. When we are working with kids, it's really important to do the material, the didactic material, a poster, colorful poster, a guide, a puppets, worksheets, but uh, created worksheets, flashcards. This kind of material, it's really attention getting, attention catching with
Oh,
kids.
thank you, teacher.
Okay, Suli, thank you for this interview. Um, and that's all. So have a nice day.
Okay. Thank you, teacher. Bye.
Bye.